welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to take a step down makeup memory lane, and I'm going to be doing a full face using my OG favorite products. So without any further ado, let's get into my full face using OG makeup favorites. Let's go. So the first category we are going to get into is primer. I have pretty much always used primer as long as I've been into makeup. Maybe not like in high school, early high school days, but by the end of high school, which was years and years ago, I was definitely using and loving face primer. So my two favorite primers that really got me into primer are these two. So this is the Laura Mercier foundation primer, adds extra hydration and is just like a really nice prepping step. And then also the L'Oreal Infallible Glow Lock Illuminating Primer. This one is like an all-in-one because it has a little bit of smoothing, but it preps and it has like glowy illuminating properties in it. So I'm just going in with the Laura Mercier one. Out of the two, since I've like gotten more into primer, I probably prefer the L'Oreal one just because it overall like does more for my skin, but they're both really nice primers. Now we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Paris Glow Lock. This one has like a little squeezy tube. It smells kind of like Play-Doh, to be honest. A little bit glowy, luminous. You can see that going on. So now we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This was probably one of my, as I said, apart from the Revlon Color Stay, this was probably like my favorite after that release. I feel like L'Oreal Pro Glow, this foundation launch, was one of the first launches that I can think of that made like dewy products and luminous products very popular. Before that, I feel like there wasn't a ton on the market, at least in the drugstore, which was primarily what I was using at the time. So this is how the foundation looks all blended in. I think it looks really, really nice. It's light, feels light on the skin, but it gives good coverage. For concealer, I have the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. This is in Light 1 Chantilly. Very close to being out of this. This is my second repurchase, and I have been using this for years and years. I love it. Obviously, if I've repurchased it more than once. One of my favorite concealers for spot concealing on my face, but I don't love how it looks under the eyes. My go-to for like under eye concealer back in the day used to be the Maybelline Fit Me, which I just ran out of, so I don't have. But I also used to love CoverGirl concealers under the eyes, so I just grabbed the CoverGirl True Blend, which is new, but I'm just going to use it under the eyes for the sake of the video. So we'll start out with the NARS, and I'm going to go in with a little buffing concealer brush. I just like getting that targeted product where I need the concealing. So as I said, I really enjoy this concealer for spot concealing. It's also really good for covering up like any redness. So I'm gonna go ahead and pounce this in, mainly just like pressing it and settling it into the skin with my Real Techniques sponge. I absolutely love the consistency of that concealer. It's so nice and creamy and blendable. Just gonna go ahead and blend out my under eyes. As I said, this isn't the exact product, obviously, that I used back in the day or fell in love with, but it is the one that I currently enjoy under my eyes, and I used to really like CoverGirl ones. The one I liked had like a blue cap and see-through packaging similar to the True Blend. With concealer done, we are all done our cream liquid products, so it is time to set the face in with powder. As I said, I'm going to do my makeup as best I can to how I used to do it with these same products back in the day. So I'm not going to be baking, contouring, chiseling, like none of that. We are just going to do what I did back in the day. So with that said, my favorite original face powder was the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is in 001 transparent, and I'm just using an e.l.f. blending brush, kind of like a flat kabuki, and I'm just going to press it into the skin instead of doing a light dusting because this is what I used to do back in the day. I am now all powdered. I think that looks really nice on the skin. It is a little touch more dry than I'm used to, but it looks very even, smooth. It's a kind of a smoothing powder, to be honest, and it's just a really great one if you need an affordable powder, if you're a makeup artist, if you need like a touch up at the bar powder, touch up at work powder, anything like that. It's a really really good one. Now for bronzer, I have a drugstore one and a high-end one. These I probably purchased and fell in love with around the same time, like 7 or 8 years ago, end of high school. So I have the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzer, and this is in 720A Sunny. And then I have the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. I have repurchased Benefit Hoola, repurchased the full size twice, and then I also purchased the mini. So I'm currently working away at the mini, and I'm going in first with Hoola. We're not doing any sculpting, contouring, not that I normally do, but we're just going to do classic bronze. Nowadays, I definitely go in a little more on like my nose area, but I'm just gonna do what I used to do. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit more of the NYC bronzer on top. And normally I would go in and bake that. I pretty much always bake with powder under here just to clean it all up, but we're gonna leave it like that for now. I feel like I forgot how to be a little more precise with bronzer because I'm so used to just cleaning it up, but we are going to continue. And the next step is highlighter. So I feel like this is so many people's OG. This is MAC Soft and Gentle. Definitely a hit pan. This is one of the most beautiful highlights. It's still so good. I love it, especially during the summer, even like on the collarbones, shoulders. It's such a pretty highlight. So I'm just gonna go in with this on my cheekbones. I never really used to highlight many other areas of my face, pretty much just in here because we're trying to use the products in the way that I used to. Such a good highlighter. I think I'll always repurchase that one, especially as I said for the summertime. It's just unlike any of my others. This is my OG favorite blush ever. This product made me completely fall in love with blush, and this is MAC Melba. I purchased this exclusively because Jaclyn Hill loved it back in the day, so that meant I had to love it. Nowadays, I gravitate more towards cool tone pink blushes and like pink shimmeries. This is definitely more of a peach blush than I typically use, but it goes really well with like the bronzer. I just think it is so pretty, so I'm gonna really concentrate that on the apples of my cheeks. Now that our complexion is all complete, it is time to go into brows, and this is really the only product that I've consistently used for brows at all. That is the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Blonde. I have repurchased this now. This is my third. Little goes a long way, and I used to do my brows a lot more thin, I guess, than I do now, and less like bushy and natural. They definitely used to be more thin and defined. I do still use the Anastasia Dip Brow a lot. I just use it a little differently, and I pretty much always use it alongside a pencil and a gel, whereas before, back in the day when I used the pomade, I used to just use the pomade. I'm definitely going to brush it through and like fiddle with it more, but that is roughly how one brow looks done and one brow looks not done. Very different, a little bit harsh, but we will brush through them a little bit more as well. Now that my brows are roughly on, we are going to go in with shadow. I don't love how the brows look. They're definitely harsh and dark, and I'm not super into them. We'll revisit later. So when I was going through my collection, I thought of two main products. The first of which is the Tartelette palette. Then my other favorite shadows that I absolutely still do use and love are the L'Oreal Infallible pressed eyeshadows. So I actually own 3 or 4 of these, I think 4, but I picked out my 2 original favorites for this video. So I have 888 Iced Latte and 892 Amber Rush. For the crease shade, I'm just gonna go in with a mix of these 2 and mix those together. Then for the outer V, I'm just gonna dip into this darker brown shade a little bit. Now that I have some shadow on there roughly, we are going to go into the L'Oreal Infallible. So with these, I would typically take the more bronze of the 2, which is Amber Rush. on the outer corner. And then I would take the lighter of the two, iced latte, and I would just focus this on the inner corner. Like every time I would go out in university, end of high school, I would always pretty much just use these all over the eyes because it was easy and pretty. All right, now I'm going to go in with my pinky finger and the lighter shade, and I would go pretty heavy on the inner corner highlight. This isn't something that I do as much now. I'm going to go back in with that Amber Rush shade and put that on my lower lash line. My favorite high-end liner back in the day, and one of my favorites still today, is the Kat Von D Ultra Ink Tattoo Liner in Trooper Black. And I never used to do a wing. I would just do like my top line liner to define top of my eyes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that with the Trooper liner, the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This is my favorite drugstore mascara of all time. I just love the brush. I love the formula. This mascara is really nice. I find that it lifts and lengthens. Doesn't so much build up volume, but it's really nice for lifting and lengthening the lashes. So we are going to head into lips. I have a lip liner, a lipstick, and a lip gloss. The one product that really got me into lip liners was the Essence lip pencils. This is their newest liner formula because the other ones were just too old and I've decluttered them. So the one I have here is their soft contour lip liner, and this is in 08 Big Proposal. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lips with this. For lipstick, I'm sure for many of you, MAC bullet lipsticks were where it was at for so long. I still love them. It's usually what I throw in my bag when I go out for a night just because they're very reliable and I know what shades I like in MAC. And MAC Brave, it is a satin finish, is my favorite MAC bullet lipstick, one of my favorite bullet lipsticks in general. So I'm gonna go ahead and fill in my lips with the MAC Brave bullet lipstick. So I overlined a little bit just out of habit, but this is how that MAC lipstick looks on me. It's just like my perfect pink. I love it so much, and yeah, I just love that lipstick. This is my OG favorite gloss. I never used to be super into glosses, but if I wanted a gloss, it was always this one, just like a light pink with a little bit of shimmer in it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that over the MAC Brave. So with that, this is the final look. I have to admit, I'm really not into the brows and I'm really not into the base. I think this blush is just a little too peachy warm toned than what I like, and I like a bushier, fluffier brow, and I do not like the way the bronzer looks. I think it's mostly the NYC one that's giving it a little too much warmth, and I like it a little more chiseled. So those are the things that I would adjust, but this is how I used to do my makeup back in the day, and these are all of the, or most of the products that I would use, my OG favorites. Definitely comment down below and let me know what your favorite OG makeup products were or are. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have an absolutely awesome day. Bye!